The best writing advice on YouTube. There are not a lot of AuthorTubers on it. What is going on there? What is the deal? Like Screaming Magpies, AuthorTubers should be the biggest YouTubers on YouTube. It should be called AuthorTube. We should be ruling it. Why is the next, first, whatever, YouTube billionaire going to be MrBeast? I mean, MrBeast, while I was doing the intro for this video, my husband called and the key for his car has stopped working. So he needs me to bring his backup key. It wasn't where he said it was going to be. I had to search for it. And when you have something that's yours and it's fundamentally yours, but you don't know where it is, or you aren't using it where you need it, it doesn't work. And this explains a lot why AuthorTubers aren't completely rocking YouTube. Take MrBeast Last to Leave the Circle wins video posted a year ago. This received 236 million views at the point of recording this. That is almost double his subs. Now, when we're talking about 122 million subs, that is still a lot of subs, but he's almost doubled it. So people who aren't his subscribers have watched this video, including myself. So why is that? Why is this video gone well and truly viral, even at MrBeast standards, when AuthorTubers are getting more like 2, 3, 4, sometimes double-digit views on their video? AuthorTubers are writers and storytelling by trade, but they're missing the key ingredient that makes YouTube videos successful. But they're missing it for all the wrong reasons. And certainly not because they don't know how to use it. Apart from AuthorTube, I watch a lot of creator advice content on YouTube. vidIQ, Think Media, Vanessa Lau. I love these creators that help creators create great YouTube content. And what do they all say is the key to a great YouTube video that people will watch to the end?
Storytelling.
And
That's the story and the way that you tell it. Story.
Howdy everyone, Nate here. I wanted to tell you a story.
How do I tell better stories?
When we look at MrBeast's circle video, he has an inciting incident. He will give $500,000 to the person that stays in the circle. These are the stakes right there in that one sentence. That one sentence, we have the antagonist, the hero, which is you staying in the circle, the inciting incident, which is MrBeast giving the money, and the stakes, all in that one sentence. That is the premise of the story. Now we have the framework to add our subplots, our stories that keep the interest going. And MrBeast does this by focusing on specific individuals, such as Akira, who we see in the beginning on the day one, how he gets started, and we see him on his journey, how he gets emotional, connected to his teammates, and how he ultimately has to step away from the game, even though we saw him so determined. And we watched this arc of Akira, and it's a full story inside the overarching story of the game. Why aren't AuthorTubers applying their amazing storytelling abilities? And I know they're amazing. It's not a question of whether or not AuthorTubers can tell stories. They know they can tell stories. So why aren't they applying their storytelling tactics to their videos? Like the keys, they can't find them. They can't find the story in the video. So the other key doesn't work in the ignition either. Now what? It's the battery that's causing all the problems, not the keys at all. And once you identify the problem, now you can fix it. This is all not to say that AuthorTubers are not successful. There are loads of successful AuthorTubers who have amazing strategies like these that came to an answer to a question I recently posted. AuthorTubers Helping AuthorTubers, hosted by Emma Bennett, romance author. The truth is that there are some great ones out there, and most of the stories come from their vlogging content, much like my story of this video comes from the crisis of the car. YouTubers need to apply their brilliant storytelling tactics to their YouTube videos.
they need to treat it exactly the same.
MrBeast's circle idea is relatively simple and classic. It goes as far back as the Roman Colosseum with gladiators and spectators.
You start with a great opening, issue a problem that your main character, aka you, need to solve.
Take this video, for example, if you will. I did try to apply this own strategy.
And then you solve it over trial and error, and you know what? Bonus points if you fail, like your initial plan doesn't work, like the keys.
But what happens when there's no crisis?
I didn't need to bring the keys at all. It wasn't the keys, it was the battery.
And while we could replace the battery, it shorted out the radio, making it unusable.
It's good news in that it's not going to cost an arm and a leg and have to wait till after the holidays. Bad news is the radio is busted and we don't know how to fix it. So now the holiday is going to have to be music free. And there are more intentional stories like Sarah Lambert, who recently wrote in New York, and Christy Ann, I want to say Johnson. Her cozy vlogs often will feature a little bit of time that she lived in Japan, and all that is extremely interesting, and it tells a little bit of story. These AuthorTubers allow themselves to become characters. The absolute king of this is Ed from Film Booth, and his videos have so much story. He is teaching us how to create YouTube videos, but they always involve some kind of crazy and often impossible story that goes along with it that is extremely entertaining, because at the end of the day, YouTube is entertaining. The magic thing that makes driving fun, the radio, is not going to work. For us, anyway, driving is fun because we have a radio, and that is what story does for YouTube videos. It makes the video fun. It makes it enjoyable. It makes us want to watch one after another. It feels good. We know that about these things because we're storytellers. We know that story is the key to everything. Or at least it should be. And if it isn't, people are going to click off your video. You've got about 8 seconds to capture somebody. And that is why Vanessa Lau says you need that initial statement. You need to say something like I did at the beginning of this video, that AuthorTubers should be ruling YouTube. And we should be. We should be. Because we are the storytellers. And if YouTube is a collection of videos that are stories, we should be winning.
But we aren't winning. MrBeast is winning, and he's winning the whole of YouTube, that and a PlayStation 5, because he understands the fast-paced art of storytelling with a simple premise that gets people involved. It's not about the money. I know it looks like it's about the money, but he's paying people to participate in his large videos. But you could do this with little cartoon characters. Remember, MrBeast is too lazy to write the entire word subscribe and still is the biggest name on YouTube.
Just like in your novels, you have your climax of where it all has a resolution, and then you finish your story with a key takeaway that your audience can feel good about. We get to go on our holiday, and my husband's thinking maybe we'll just replace the entire radio. If you want to know the best writing, storytelling advice that I have found on YouTube, check out this video here and start applying it to YouTube videos, because I know you can do it, because AuthorTube, let's take over.